Jesus affirmed very clearly that he is God more times than what we can recite, and beyond leaving any margin for the slightest shadow of doubt. Everything he said, everything he did, everything he indicated, directly or indirectly, Jesus was putting the message out very clearly that he is God himself. The interesting part about Jesus Christ, he has a very distinct style of communication that reflects in every aspect of his ways his full divinity. Jesus walking on the waters is one very subtle way to identify and to reveal himself as God. He could have made the disciples wait until he dismissed the crowds and boarded the boat with them. He didn't do that. He made them go ahead of him. He dismissed the crowd and he caught up with them walking in the water. I personally think that is very humorous. There are many verses in the Old Testament. They talk about the sovereignty of God over the water. Psalm 77. Your path led through the sea, your way through the mighty waters, though your footprints were not seen. Likewise, the calming of the storm is another way that Jesus revealed his full divinity. Psalm 104 says, "At your rebuke, the water fled. At the sound of your thunder, they took to flight." Reaching down to rescue Peter from drowning and rebuking him also were clear communication of his divinity. He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep waters. The prophecy in the Psalm 18:16 says. Also, after the feeding of the multitudes, which was another image of God revealed through Jesus Christ, in the Old Testament, who was the one for 40 years feeding the people in the wilderness? It was God. Who is feeding the multitude in the wilderness here? It's Jesus Christ. He's sending the message very loudly and very clearly that this is the same person. Also, Jesus stayed behind to personally make sure that the crowds were dismissed safely, and he sent them off. This is another way where Jesus, through his divine care, through his love, is communicating his divinity. Because the true God is a God of care. It's a caring God. The true God is not an aloft, is not a distant, is not unapproachable God. The true God is not a God that gathers people where he makes a grand entrance and before they leave he makes a grand exit. This is not the true God. The true God is personal, is caring. Each person is super precious, super important in his eyes. So he dismissed the crowds. Apostle Matthew said in chapter 14, verse 22, this sentence that seems so small and so insignificant is of a great importance. This is another whisper from God Jesus Christ that he is God. Jesus Christ, full divinity, is revealed through his caring, through his personalized attention that he gave throughout the ministry, because the true loving God, that's what he does. Thank you very much.